Hello and welcome back. This is Fuzzee D Tutorials and my name is Dave. Today's quick tips video covers more power user tricks in Mac OS Catalina. From emoji shortcuts, app cycling, expanded spell check, spotlight power tips, more drag shortcuts, instant zoom and more. Let's get started. So here are some more power user tips for Mac OS. For this tutorial, you need to be at your desktop, of course, or in your laptop, with TextEdit or Notes handy, as well as Finder, and for the brave, your Terminal app. I'm only going to show you one little trick for Terminal. If you want to see more Terminal stuff, watch out for an upcoming video where we'll cover a whole bunch of some pretty cool things you can do with your Terminal. Okay, so we're going to start with Notes. Now this will also work within most text entry fields in your browser or social media. And of course it'll work with your text editor, and a lot of these will also work inside of things like Microsoft Word. Okay, so here's a quick and easy way to get to your emojis, even for apps that don't normally support it, without having to go up and use this tool right here, which, I mean, it works, but there's a faster and easier way to do that. So your shortcut for this is Control Command Space, and that brings up this little window, and you've got access not only to all of your standard emojis, but it also takes you into the extra symbols. So you've got your arrows and bullets, and some Greek letters, and basically your extended characters that go beyond the emojis. Now I know one problem that I have a lot, because I'm a terrible speller, is I'll spell something so bad that spell checker can't find anything. So let's think of a good example here. So monopedia. Oh, wouldn't you know it, I spelt it right. No, I didn't. Okay. Okay, so we get no guesses found, of course. So let's go back, and if we generally we'll know what the first 2 or 3 letters are. So what you can do is you can hit your F5 key, and that will bring up every word that it finds that starts with those letters, and you can scroll through the list if there's more than a few, and then you can use your keyboard, of course, if you like, and then you just select it. And then if you've got a word that you want to look up in the dictionary, instead of having to bring up your browser and go to something like Wikipedia or dictionary.com or something, you can actually just hit your Command Control D for dictionary, and that will pop up a search. So that's a pretty handy little item right there. Now, one of the very cool new things that I just learned is you can insert a photo directly into your notes or into your text editor. I don't know if it works in the more sophisticated programs like Microsoft Word or something like that. But this is how you do it. You do either a control click or a right click, and you go down the list and you select your insert from iPhone or Pad, and you'll see here, I've got both, and it shows a separate section for each. So in this case we'll use the iPhone, and we just click on take photo, and then as soon as I pick up my phone, if you look right here, you can see that it's already got the photo app open for me. So all I have to do is take the picture, and then it's going to display in the lower right corner, use photo. So I just tap on that, and instantly the picture gets sent using your AirDrop. So it's very fast. For those touchpad users, you would use your two-finger tap to get your context menu. Okay, so I'm just going to type a few lines of text here. Not going to be, it's just going to be nonsensical because I'm just trying to show you a little technique. Normally I'm not a very fast typist, so this is really the best way to show you this stuff. Okay, so we'll select a few little lines here, and we'll go up and we'll make it a bulleted list. And now for a quick and easy way to increase or decrease your bullets, you can just use the command square bracket, and if you use the right square bracket, it'll move it up a level, and if you use the left square bracket, it moves it back down. And now you can also do this with indenting regular text. Just select a couple more lines there. It just doesn't put the bullets in for you automatically. And you don't have to have the lines selected either. You can just be in the line, and the same combination will work for you. And another thing that I use quite a lot in Notes, and I honestly don't know whether this works in other programs or not, but it does work in Notes. So if you go Shift Command C, that brings up a color picker, and that lets you change your colors like so. And you probably know a lot of the other keyboard shortcuts, but I'll show you a couple here. Command B, turn bolding off and on. And of course everybody knows your cut, copy, and paste. So I won't show you that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is how to toggle your zoom off and on. So to do that, that's Command Option 8, and that'll turn it off and on. And then if you want to zoom in or out, you would use your Option command and either plus or minus. So plus will zoom you in larger, and minus will zoom you back out. And then 8 to toggle it back off. And an easy way to cycle through your apps is you can hit your Command Tab, and then you cycle through until you hit the one you want, and then you just let go of your Command key. And now for some reason it doesn't really work with ones that are minimized. It used to on older versions, but it doesn't anymore. Not sure exactly why they changed that, but they did. Now I'm just going to bring up my browser here, since I've got a few windows with it. So I want to show you the next little keyboard shortcut. So if you want to cycle through your windows within a program rather than cycle through programs themselves, you would use your command tilde, or some people call it the grave marker. And that's the key that's located above the tab. It's got a right, or sorry, it's got a left single quote, and then the tilde is right above that on the same key. So we just hit the command tilde, and that will cycle us through our different windows. And this isn't just for the browser, it's within any app that supports multiple windows like that. And of course, Command W will close that window, but still leave the main program open. And of course, you probably already know about Command Q for quitting your app. And if you have a program that runs amok and you need to do a force quit, sometimes you can't make it up to your little apple up here to do a force quit. So to do that, it's Option Command Escape, and that will bring up your force quit. So you see we have that over here. No, we don't need to quit anything, so we'll just close that. Now another handy key combination is if you hit Command H, it will hide your active app. Now we'll just bring that one back up, and you see we've got some other apps in the background. So if we hit Command Option H, it'll hide everything except the app that's in the foreground. Of course it's going to make a liar out of me. So if we hit Option Command H, that will close all the apps except the one that's active, with the exception of Finder. For some reason, Finder seems to be immune to a lot of these functions. If I wanted to turn on the Do Not Disturb for doing recording, I had to go into my notifications menu, and depending on what I was doing in there last, I have to scroll up or scroll down and then turn on my Do Not Disturb. Now there is a much faster way of doing that. If I hold my Option key down and click on the notification menu icon, that automatically turns notification, or sorry, that automatically turns Do Not Disturb off and on. Okay, so let's talk about Spotlight. Now, I have to be honest, this isn't a tool that I normally use. I've run across it by accident the odd time, but I never really learned much about it until I started researching for my second Power Tips video. So let me show you a few little things you can do with this. So of course, to bring up the Spotlight, you use your Command Space, and now we can do some basic functions in here. You can use it as a calculator. So if I wanted to do, say, 12 plus 13, oops, let's try that again. If we do 12 plus 13, and you'll see it shows us the answer right in here. And you can also use it for things like conversions. So if I wanted to do, let's say, 100 Canadian dollars, that's going to show me what it is in US dollars. Or I could go USD, or I could even go pesos. Oops. Or I can go pesos. And we could do, let's say, 20 degrees C, and that will give us a conversion for Fahrenheit. Or I could go 20 kilometers, and that'll give it to me in miles, unless I put in 20 miles. And that gives me the kilometers. And down here, of course, you'll see meters, yards, feet, inches. So, very handy little tool. I got really used to always doing this on my phone with the little conversion app I've got, but this is so much faster if I'm working on my laptop. Now, some of the more powerful things you can do with this. Now, anybody who's used this, knows, of course, about doing file searches. So if I wanted to find files named thumbnail, for instance, we can do that. You can but we can take file search a step further. If I wanted to look for files that are compatible with a particular program, I can just put in kind, colon, and then let's see, one of the programs I use is Graphic. So then it'll show me all of my iDraw files over here. And I could tell it to show me in Finder. And then if I wanted to do another variation on that, I could go kind, graphic, oh sorry, I did this backwards. So if I go thumbnail, kind, graphic, then it'll take and show me only the thumbnails that are in the iDraw or graphic format. That way I don't have to sort through all of the PNG and JPEG versions of those. Now this is also, it understands natural language. So if I wanted to put in we can go all my JPG files from yesterday, then it's going to do that. And you can get more complex with it here, but that's that'll give you something to find on your own. Okay, here's some miscellaneous stuff. If you're in your browser and you want to view a video picture-in-picture and then move that anywhere around the screen, you can do that by doing your right click or control click on the video itself. Now for some strange reason, if you're in YouTube, you have to do it twice to get this menu. And then you just select picture in picture, and then I can actually move this around and I can resize it. And I can hit my play, and then I can Just hit the little X here in the corner to pop it back in. Now another handy feature, if you want to, normally when you drag a file, as soon as you click on it, or sorry, if you want to drag a window, as soon as you click on it, it brings it into the foreground. But if you want to move that window and leave it in the background, just hold your command key down and then you can move it around and it'll stay where it is in your Z order. Now another handy little feature, and again I just found this out recently and I've been using it a lot now. This has been a pet peeve of mine for a while actually. You can actually move your icons around on your taskbar here. If you just hold the command key down, you can click and drag them. You can move the order around any way you want. And if you want to pull something off there entirely, you can just click and drag it out to your desktop. And off it goes. Okay, another neat little shortcut. If you go into your system preferences, and we'll go into printers. Now if you take a printer and you drag it out to your desktop, it'll create an alias on your desktop, but it is not just a normal alias, it is actually an active alias. So you can take a document. So let's say I want to take, where have I got just a little text file? Right. Oh yes, since I just kind of did something there, it reminded me of a new little trick I just learned as well. In my last video I was showing you how to move items off and on your sidebar. Well, you can actually move items off and on your toolbar up here. So if you hold your command key down, and if I was to take this right here, I can pop it right up in here, and now I've got an alias of it up there. Now I'm not going to leave that there, but so you just do the same thing to get rid of it. You just command drag it off. So here I can go open up my games folder right from there. There's my tutorial files. So now if I want to take this rich text format document, I can, now that I've got that printer icon aliased on the desktop, I can just take this document, drag it right over top of the printer, and it just immediately prints it. It completely bypasses the print dialog and just sends it directly to printer. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a little trick with Terminal. So we're going to go and bring up our Spotlight with Command Spacebar and type in Terminal. Okay. Now because I am a terrible speller, so I've just got to look at my notes here so I spell this correctly. But in your terminal program, well, let me preface this first before I give you the command. There are times when you're doing something that you don't want the computer to go to sleep, or it will mess up what you're doing. You know, something that takes a while and you want to walk away and leave it complete. For instance, if I'm doing my system backup onto my external drive, for instance, if I haven't done it in a week or two, sometimes that will go beyond where sleep would normally kick in. And if it goes to sleep, that's going to stop my backup right in the middle of it. So to prevent that, if you type in the word caffeinate, so CAFFEINATE, and hit enter, now your computer will stay awake until you exit the program or exit the command. And don't forget to turn it off, or you won't be able to shut your computer down or put it to sleep. So to get rid of that or cancel out of it, you just hit your Control C. Okay, that's it for this tutorial, folks. Check out my macOS tutorials playlist for more tutorials, or you can check out my playlist tab for other subjects you might need help with on my channel. Make sure to check out my website for other resources, portfolios, and other useful stuff. My website address is www.fuzzed.ca. That's FUZZEEDEE.ca. And please consider supporting what I do with a small donation. You can find details how to do that on my website. You can donate anything you want, from $1 to $5 or whatever you feel is appropriate, and that will help to support me so that I can keep bringing these tutorials to you. Make sure to drop me a comment below if you have questions about what we've talked about today or other tutorials that I've done, or you would just like to request a tutorial, or even if you just want to tell me how I did. If you enjoyed this tutorial, hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button. Make sure to click that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.